Our next stop is Argentina. And that's to speak about the club known as El Rojo, as well as El Rey de Copas. Due to their success in the Libertadores, we're talking about Independiente. This is their kit from 2015, a 110-year anniversary kit, seeing as they're one of Argentina's oldest clubs, founded back in 1905. They had a nice little touch with a muted striping of lighter and darker red on it. And it's a little hard to show here, but within the back of the neck of the kit, they have a beautiful dedication to that 110-year anniversary. Let me speak about a couple of the accomplishments for the club that is known as the National Pride, and I'll tell you a little bit more of how they got that nickname. That first nickname, El Rojo, obviously comes from their home colors of red. The second, Rey de Copas, comes from the fact that in the Copa Libertadores, they're the all-time record holder with 7 titles. They even won 4 in a row back in the 70s and were the first ever Argentine club to win the competition. But that cup dominance does not end there, seeing as this club has won the Copa Sudamericana twice, both in the last decade, as well as a myriad of other cups, including the Supercopa Sudamericana, the Recopa, as well as Intercontinental Cups. There's kind of too many to mention. They've also won their National Cup 9 times, and are one of Argentina's most important league victors, seeing as in a country where both River and Boca kind of run away with the league title count, 16 is no small number, although they have not won the title since 2002. Let's take a look at their badge to see what we can learn there. As you can see, it's got that horizontal slash, not to be confused with a similar one for River Plate. And with the red of their kit, they took it from Nottingham Forest, who had traveled to South America on a tour right about the time of the founding of the club. Which players should you know there from their past? The first name you need to remember here, and this goes beyond just Independiente and is important for Argentine football, is the man nicknamed El Bocha. And there's lots of conversation in Argentine football down the years on who their idol is. Obviously, right now, it's Lionel Messi, and for good reason. Prior to him, and by him, the idol was Diego Maradona. But the man that Maradona idolized was Ricardo Bochini. He's probably the greatest passer of the ball that Argentina has ever had. He was immensely successful during Independiente's successful era in the 70s, winning the league 4 times, as well as the Copa Libertadores 4 times. And he was also in the squad for Argentina that won their previous World Cup in 1986. He was a member of Independiente for almost 30 years. The second name to put on your plate is Jorge Burruchaga, who, as an attacking midfielder, played for them for 2 stretches in the 80s and 90s. And his claim to fame is he was also a member of that 1986 World Cup winning squad. And while El Bocha didn't really play much that tournament, this man did and scored the winning goal in the final. El Rojo can also boast the services of the all-time leading goal scorer in the Argentinian top flight, and that being the Paraguayan Arsenio Enrico. And the last man I'll mention, always whenever I have a chance, is Sergio Kun Aguero, who started his career at the club and debuted in the top flight at the age of 15 before moving on to Europe to Atleti and then to Manchester City. And to go all the way back to the beginning of the video, let me explain why they're known as the National Pride. That has to do with one of their myriad of international cups, that being the Intercontinental Cup from 1984, which was the first time that an Argentine and an English club had met in play since the Falkland Wars of 1982. Seeing as Independiente won it, there's a lot of national pride behind it. So there's your rundown on one of Argentina's finest, Independiente.